Good afternoon. It is 12:09 on Sunday afternoon. Happy belated New Year. I did not vlog yesterday. I slept all day. I think my boyfriend and I got out of bed about 1:30, something like that. We didn't have an eventful New Year's. I mean, we all had a glass of wine. Me and my boyfriend and Boo Boo. Boo Boo ordered Chianti. What that means, I don't know. But he heard it in Silence of the Lambs. He found it online. I don't even want to know what he paid for it. He ordered it like back before Christmas. So he wanted to have a glass of this Chianti Christmas morning. Okay, fine. Who am I to judge? It's Christmas. Have a glass of wine at 7 in the morning. Whatever. I could not get that goddamn thing open. Not to save my life. Nope. So later on in the evening, on Christmas Day evening, he figured it out. He got it open. He did not open the cork, though. He just took the wrapping shit off it. Whatever, that was fine. So come New Year's, he wants to have this Chianti. So I guess he was fiddling with it, and my boyfriend and I were trying to find a movie to watch. And he comes in all befuddled. He didn't know how to work the corkscrew. So we all have to learn sometime. So I went in and I showed him, and he had it right. He just wasn't being patient. So we popped the cork. I do love that sound. Yes, I do. And I poured him a glass of wine, and he asked if my boyfriend and I each wanted a glass, and it was like, meh, it's New Year's, why not? I like a good glass of red wine every now and again. And that's all it is red wine. It didn't taste any better than any other red wine I've ever had. I mean, it smelled really good, but that could just be because I haven't had wine in a good long while. But yeah, I mean, it was nothing extraordinary. It was red wine. But he was all excited about, oh, it's really good. I'm like, oh, it's red wine. He's never had just a glass of wine of any kind. If he's had wine, it's a sangria. So it's mixed with fruit juice and, what is it, club soda or whatever. So yeah, he was super excited. It was cute. He's so cute. He's still so young. I don't know how many glasses he had. I never heard him come down. We found movies, and that was it. I was concentrating on the movies, so I never heard him come down. But he didn't get his bony butt out of bed until like 3 or 3:30 yesterday morning. Surprised he was able to go to bed for work today. I'll tell you, I had no problem going to sleep last night. I think we went to bed last night around, I don't know, my usual time, somewhere between 12:30 and 1 o'clock. I had absolutely no trouble at all passing out. Even though we did absolutely nothing. Like, we literally got up, I made a pot of coffee. I went out and had a cigarette and some said coffee. And after about my second cup, I went and I, got human. And we're trying to figure out what to do for dinner, because I literally have nothing in my house. Like, I haven't been shopping at all. I think the last time I went shopping was sometime in November. But I did overbuy things, right? Like, I overbought the meat. I overbought, well, I kind of overbought vegetables in the sense that I knew I needed it for Christmas, right? But all that's gone now. Oh, I still have a shit ton of meat. But I'm out of, side dishes, fruits, veggies, milk, butter, bread, things like that, right? And since it was so late in the day when we got up, I didn't have time to thaw anything for dinner. So we had a conundrum. So my boyfriend jumps on the Google, and Google said that Superstore was open until 6 o'clock yesterday evening. So we warms up the car, brushed it all. Did we have to brush it off? I think I had to brush the car off. I don't remember, but I had to warm it up because it was cold. And off we tottered, right? Go hit the Superstore and we'll grab some stuff for dinner. Like I said, we'll do spaghetti. We'll keep it simple. I'm so done cooking. I hate cooking. We'll grab some like ground beef or some of the fake meat that I eat. I don't care. We'll grab something. And spaghetti sauce, because I didn't have any spaghetti sauce. And we'll grab some mushrooms. And maybe grab some garlic bread or something. And there's dinner. Okay? Well, we got to Superstore. Superstore was closed. Okay. And this was at like 3:30. So the Google lied because Superstore was closed. So we did this great big circle. And I checked out our food basics. There's 2 metros in this town. They were all closed. Everything was closed. The fast food joints is what was open except Subway. Subway was closed. And I thought, of course, because I have a gift card for Subway. And I like Subway. I don't like the McDonald's and Wendy's and all that shit. I can't eat their shit. So, we scratched that idea. Stopped and grabbed coffee, cuz. And I was like, okay, well. I said, I have hamburgers, but I don't have any buns. So, I can cook up some hamburgers for you guys. And I had leftover gravy. You can do burger patties and gravy, and I'll make up some mashed potato or some home fries and some corn. There's dinner, right? Cool. Well, Boo Boo didn't want a hamburger without a bun. And I said, okay, well, we have a couple slices of bread left. I can toast that, and there you go. Ooh, it's not a bun. It's all bread. Come on. Whatever. So he had home fries and corn. My boyfriend had a couple of burger patties with gravy and the home fries and corn. I didn't make enough home fries and stuff because I really thought Boo Boo would do the burger patties and gravy. I mean, he likes gravy and he likes burgers. Like, I don't understand. But no. So I gave him all what would have been my home fries and corn. So I made up some hot cereal. I ate about 3 bites of that and decided, no, the texture wasn't jiving with me. I'm very texture sensitive when it comes to food. And me and food don't get along anyway. I hate that we have to eat to survive. It drives me crazy. So I tossed that. And I cut up an apple. And I'm not a huge fan of apples either. Smothered that shit in peanut butter. And it was better. Ate that. And then I had some goldfish crackers and cheese. Because, yeah. So that's what I ate. And we sat down and watched movies. Because by then it was actually, it was like 5:30 or something like that. So it was like, I ain't going out nowhere. And we couldn't get any snacks because everything was closed. And I wasn't even trying to get into the 7-Eleven last night. So, what did we watch last night? We watched... Because New Year's, the movie situation was a fucking shit show. We both sucked. We picked crappy movies. So we're trying to make up for it last night. We watched Silent Hill, which wasn't bad. And then we watched the sequel, which was questionable. But still better than the shit we watched on New Year's. On New Year's, we watched... On New Year's, what was the one that he picked? Shit, I don't even remember what it was he picked. It was kind of... It was a Hugh Jackman movie, so we both figured it would be good. It was okay, but it was kind of hard to follow. I can't even remember what it was called. Reverence? Something like that. It was about, I don't know, somehow being able to collect or to see other people's memories. You could relive your best moments or whatever. And it was like the world was kind of like the cities and towns and that were kind of flooded somehow. That was never really explained. It was really kind of hard to follow, which was too bad. It had the potential of being quite good, but it was just really hard to follow. And so he was like, okay, well, I suck, so it's your turn to pick one. Well, for some reason, VHS jumped into my head, and I'd never seen it. Now, I'm not a fan of found footage type movies. I'm really not. I don't like the way that they're filmed. I don't think it's spooky. I think it's very irritating. The shaky cam thing drives me fucking crazy. Actually makes me want to vomit. Like, it really, really bothers me. But I'd heard about this movie before on a YouTube channel. Like Dead Meat or something like that. He's funny. But for some reason it jumped into my head on New Year's Eve, and it was like, oh, well, let's try this. So I searched for it on Prime, and Prime had it. And what I like about Prime is that you can do previews. So we watched a preview, and yes, it looked cheesy and campy, but it's kind of like there's a story within a story. So it's these guys, these idiots, that like to do mean or illegal things, film it, and upload it to social media, right? And somebody hires them to break into this old guy's house and steal a VHS tape. And when they get there, they find a shit ton of VHS tapes. So they have to go through these tapes, I guess, to find the one that they want. They were told that they would know what they were supposed to take when they saw it. So they had to go through these tapes. So there's like 4 or 5 stories based on these tapes that they're watching. And they're very campy. But I'm here to tell you, and it was retarded. The whole movie was absolutely retarded. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was probably one of the worst movies I've ever decided to watch in my life. Having said that, the practical effects in these in-between stories was really, really good. I mean, it was by no means a high-budget movie. So these practical effects, as somebody who used to do them, was super impressed. Like, oh, I didn't do them on a huge scale. I went to school for it. I did some little things, whatever. But it's like, when I watch any movie, really, when there's fighting or a killing, whatever, what I look at is the practical effects, the bruising, the scars, the stab wounds, the bullet holes, like all that shit. I love that stuff, and I love recreating that stuff. And special effects, practical effects have a very, very special place in my heart. I love it. And they were very, very good. Other than that, the movie was utter garbage. It was bad. It was so bad. It was so bad. So, last night, when we sat down to watch movies, I was like, do you want to do it, babe? Do you want to watch a movie? He's like, I don't know. He says, we really suck at picking movies. I said, well, like, come on now. Like, there's nothing else to do. Everything's closed. And even if everything wasn't closed, there'd still be nothing to do because we ain't vaxxed. So it's not like we can go to the theater or something. We need to take a chance, babe. We need to take a chance. And he says, well, you know, I guess nothing can be worse than VHS. I'm not going to live that down. I can feel it. I was like, well, you know, there are like 2 or 3 other movies in that series. It's a series. Yeah, it's a thing. So, I had the Prime pulled up and Silent Hill. Well, it was the sequel, actually, I think that was showing. And he asked me if I'd ever seen Silent Hill. And I said, I don't think, like, it sounds familiar, like I've heard of it. But I don't think I've seen it. I've seen the end of one of them, is what I said. I don't know what one it was. I said, it's got like these weird, like, Cenobite type monsters or whatever in it, right? He was like, kind of. And I said, okay. I said, I think I've seen the end of one of them. So we watched the first one. And the first one was good. I did like it. I thought the creatures were creepy. I thought their cinematography was really good. It was kind of cheesy, but it was good. Like there's a certain level of cheese that's like acceptable cheese. It's good cheese, right? It was kind of that. So that was fine. Then I said, well, you know, there's another one here. Do you want to watch that one? He says, I've never seen it. And I said, okay. This has got to be the one I've seen the end of, because the other one, the first one, the effects are good. Like, you know, it's mainly CG. Well, it's all CGI. But it's older CGI, right? So I don't know when that film was made. I don't know when the second one was made either, but the CGI was better in the second one. But the movie itself was fucking garbage. But that is the one that I'd seen before with those weird, it's got these weird monster like nurses or whatever, and they slash and cut everybody up and whatever. And the way they move is fantastic. It's funny. But that's what I had seen before. So, but I hadn't seen the actual end. I thought that was the end, but it wasn't. It was just toward the end. And I guess I'd watched it for that scene and went, yeah, whatever. You know, that's back when I had cable, when you're flicking through the channels and you come across something and you're like, you have to watch that scene because it's crazy or weird or whatever. And then you're like, yeah, and we're done. That's what that was. That's what that was. And of course, in between movies, I was going out and having a smoke. We were under a snow advisory all day yesterday. And it started around... It started very lightly flurrying. Like around 7 maybe. So by, what, maybe 9 o'clock when I went out for a smoke, there was snow down. It was nothing crazy. It wasn't stupid windy. It was just, well, kind of like what it is now. And we were supposed to, I mean, they were going on and on about how we were going to get all this fucking snow. Like, the weather people don't know what they're talking about. It's fine. It's Canada. We get snow. And my boyfriend was kind of like, oh, good, because he's got to drive home in this. Now, it could be different in his town because he has to cross the snow belt. So it's usually colder. There's usually more snow. There's usually more wind. Like, there's just more. So when we got up this morning and came downstairs, I was like, well, I'm going to put on a pot of coffee. And I got to go shovel because I got to take Boo Boo to work. But I couldn't remember if it was like noon or 1 that he was starting. So I said, I'm going to go out and get this started. Because not that there was a lot of snow, but sometimes it freezes and it makes it harder to shovel. Especially once the snow plows come through and then the salt trucks come through. And when they salt over the snow and then more snow gets thrown on top, it's just a block of ice at the end of the driveway. And I fucking hate it so much. So I had a couple of cups of coffee, and then I went out and shoveled. I didn't do the whole driveway because fuck that shit. I did the bottom of the driveway. That's all I care about. And I shoveled my sidewalks. Next house I get is not going to have sidewalks. I'm telling you right now, I fucking hate shoveling sidewalks. I didn't think of that when I bought my house. I will think of that next time. And I shoveled my walkways. And I found my bag of salt in the shed. I did have one from last year that I just opened today. And I salted the sidewalk because ain't nobody falling in front of my fucking house. And I salted my walkways. And we started warming up our cars because my boyfriend had to go. He's got to go shopping. I've got to go shopping at some point today. So I called Boo Boo. The car's warming. Get yourself ready. You know, you don't want to wait last minute because you got to drive slower in this weather. I mean, people just, it drives me nuts. I'll bet you down like our street, our side streets, I do about 40 because it's just a madhouse. And once I get out on the main road, I do 50. I do the actual speed limit, not a kilometer more, right? But I'm here to tell you, there were people just flying by me, and I cannot, but because, I mean, yes, the main roads are clearer than the side streets, absolutely. But they're still wicked slippery, and they've only done one side of the road. They haven't done the full road yet. Which probably means they haven't salted yet. So, I mean, slow the fuck down, man. I mean, I started fishtailing, leaving a light. And I barely touched the gas. I mean, barely. And the whole ass end of my car is doing this. Like, you know, come on. Ugh, I hate driving in snow. Oh, that's the other thing. Monkey's stepmom texted me when I got in the car with Boo Boo. And said she was, I guess she was at work or something. So she was driving home this morning and she said, yeah, the roads are really bad. She said his dad's coming into town tomorrow afternoon. She said we can drop him off tomorrow afternoon. And I said, that's fine. I really don't want to drive out there today. I really don't want to drive out there. I don't want to drive around town today. Christ. I gotta check and make sure Monkey has his key because I work tomorrow. I don't want to have to leave my key in the mailbox. I don't like doing that. Or his key in the mailbox. Oh, I'll have to text her later. So yeah, I don't have to worry about picking him. And I told Boo Boo when he went to get out of the car at work that when I go shopping, I might pick up some makings for nachos, and we'll just do nachos tonight because we like the really cheesy nachos. I've also got to book a cake because tomorrow is Boo Boo's 21st, so I need to get him a cake and a card. And that's about all he's getting. He's going to get an IOU for a present because I'm tapped out. I got to go grocery shopping. There's just no way around it. And quite frankly, he may not even get a present from me because I didn't get so much as a card from him for Christmas. So he can fuck right off. I'm just saying. I am so sick of him being this grown-ass adult and not, you know, doing the adulty things. You can recognize your mother on her birthday. You can recognize your mother at Christmas. You can recognize your mother on Mother's Day, motherfucker. Like, come on. Like, I don't ask for much. I don't ask for presents. A card would be nice. A little nod would be nice. You know, fuck. Maybe I'll do that. Make my point. I'll get him a cake because I'm not a dick. But I will be a bit of a bitch. And yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get him a card or a present. Fuck him. How's that feel? God damn it. Last year, I do believe he got me a card. I can't remember if he got me a card or not. But he did buy me a big bottle of Bailey's. That was my Christmas present. He gave it to me Christmas Eve, I think, so that I could have my coffee and Bailey's in the morning. That's fine. I appreciate that. Cool. Thank you. Not this year. Not a present. Not a card. Nothing. I don't even think he said Merry Christmas to me. Until I said Merry Christmas to him, you know. Jesus. You got a job. Go get me a card. Come on. Oh, man. I kind of want a cigarette, but I didn't bring a coat. Oh, all the kids are out tobogganing today. Everyone's having a good time in the snow. They crazy. They crazy. So, anybody watching, how was your New Year's? What did you do? How are you recovering? I hope it was a good time. I can't be bothered with that stuff. It's just another day. Oh, I wonder how Monkey's dad and stepmom's thing went. I doubt they were up late. They've got toddlers. And their friends have toddlers. I can't see them having a great big old hootenanny. A little shindig maybe, but not a hootenanny. I don't know. Got some stuff to do today. I got to go grocery shopping. I got my Christmas tree down yesterday. I got my boyfriend to help me. It's a bitch to pull apart. But I have to put it away. And I got to sweep the floors because I got little pine needles everywhere. It's never shed before. I don't know what's up with that. But whatever. And do my grocery shopping. I should probably do some laundry. There's just a little bit there, but keep up on it, you know. And then I have to pick Boo Boo up around 5. And then I'll come home and make said nachos. Oh, I'm kind of excited about that. Oh, I love cheesy nachos. They are so good. I think he prefers it with just cheese. I've done it before with meat, and then I cook it up with like the taco seasoning and stuff, and I really liked that. I've done it with the fake meat before too, and it's just as good in my opinion. But I think he really prefers it just with a shit ton of cheese and some salsa. I kind of want it with the taco meat. Not gonna lie, I kind of want it with the taco meat. But that'll just fuck with my stomach. And I've already had bacon this year. I had bacon at Christmas. I do it once a year. Dig on some swine. I fucking love bacon. Oh my God, I love bacon. But it hates me. It hates me so much. So, and then I have work tomorrow. And I have work Friday. So, I'll have the rest of the week to get my house back in order. But it's pretty much in order. It needs a little love, but it's not too bad. The nooks and crannies are what need attention, not the everyday stuff, so. Anywho, I think I'm going to jump. It's getting kind of warm in here, and I really want a cigarette, so I'm going to jump. Oh, we might as well leave that up because I'm going to go out again later. Yeah, I'm going to jump. I'm going to go home. I'm going to have a cigarette. I'm going to have some coffee. I got to wake up a little bit. And then I got to go out and do my grocery shopping and stuff. So anybody who happens to be watching, thank you. I appreciate you. I hope you had a wonderful New Year's. I hope you're recovering famously. Take care of yourself, and we'll talk later.